Tony, I look younger than I am, or I'm younger than I look. I don't know what it is, but I've just spent most of the day on Facebook, thanking everyone for their salutations. Uh, you mentioned the buyer figures, and I know you caught this, Tony. I'll get into the segment with you here in a second, but horse racing's back, man. Did you see opening day 41,000 out at the Great Race Place? Yeah, six stakes races, but uh, handle up 35% over the year on opening day. Just a huge day. Frankie Delatorre also in his last year. Bob Baffert, he gets away from the rest of the country. He can still be the star, but man, I was really shocked when I saw that crowd. I tuned in. I wanted to watch opening day, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Really amazing. I don't know if horse racing is back, but that was pretty impressive.
That's right. I was more surprised that Bob Baffert gave FanDuel TV an interview because he usually shrugs them off. So that was the thing that shocked me the most. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I'll give you one more thing on that is that with everything that he kind of has to be out a little bit in the public eye, kind of cleaning up his image as best he can because his career's not over. He's got a lot of work to do. He's going to have to put a lot of things behind him. So I think it's a little more of a PR thing too. I mean, he pretty much owned the broadcast, really. I mean, on that day. So
well, I mean, I will say this because I've met Brittany. Or I meet them. When I go to the track. Because we're right by trackside, right? I mean, I'm 6'4". This poor little girl's like a lady. I should say young lady's like 4'11", 4'12". So she's usually will stand next to me for security because I'm over by the finish line there. And it's funny because every time she goes as Bob Baffert for an interview, he'll just brush her aside. Every time it just brush him aside. And finally, he started to talk to the TV networks now, which is a good change because you're up
it
there
was
close.
all
You can see these things that go on all the time.
It was all Brittany and Bob on Monday. I mean,
I know. I mean, yeah, I
they
was
were having a
surprised.
bloodbath.
Yeah, I was very, very much surprised there. So anyway, we'll get down to business tonight here, 6:30 Eastern time. Fox 1, Yukon here facing Villanova. Oh, this Yukon team has been on fire here, but we'll see how we'll see how they handle this one. Yukon laying 12, total 136 and a half.
No, right. I mean, that's why I want to talk about them. I mean, I know it's a little bit of an early game. You mentioned the 6:30 Eastern start, but are they real? Are they not? Right now, I think the record that they have, you can't ignore them. You have to put them up there right now near the top of the rankings, number two. And really, if you look at the popular metric site, they're number one. So that should speak a little bit to maybe the quality of this team. Certainly, I don't think they're a fluke in any way. I mean, nobody's going to go. This team, I don't think, is going to be a team to go undefeated. But right now, they're just playing out of their minds with one of the best defenses in college basketball. Good offense too, but again, the defense for Connecticut, number four in adjusted efficiency, number five in effective field goal percentage on defense, or allowing opponents just 27% from three and 38% overall as part of that 13-0 record for Coach Hurley. They're averaging 83 points a game and allowing just 58 points per game. Even when they threw in their worst game of the season last time out, falling behind against Georgetown, they blew by them with ease for an 11-point win, 84-73. They've got a top player in the country in Sonogo, definitely looking good. They pretty deep as far as their quality of players in their starting lineup. Going up against this Villanova team with question marks certainly right now, but a 5-game winning streak. They've turned things around. That's kind of coincided with the return to the lineup of super freshman Cam Whitmore, and probably a one and done player, really. But ever since he's come back in the lineup, they've rolled off these 5 straight wins early on. Villanova caught our attention because of the loss to Portland, the loss to Temple with that crazy finish, a little bit of officiating, you know what I mean, in that one. So still losing to Big Five rival didn't do anything good for them, but they shoot just 44% this season. That's kind of un-Villanova-like, even though they do have, some good shooters anyway. But again, they're playing kind of that standard Villanova ball, even though Kyle Neptune in his first season here. But look, they're in those possession lanes where 18.8 seconds on their possessions on offense. That's 309th in the country. Possessions on defense, even slower, 18.3 seconds, 330th in the country. Now, Connecticut plays a little bit faster than that. We know that, but I've already explained to you some of their defensive numbers. Yeah, they're probably top 10, top 12 in offense as well, but for me, Villanova has to think, well, we're underdogs by a dozen points. We better stick to our guns here and slow these possessions down. If they get caught up in some kind of uh, running affair that's going to take my total out of this one, I'm going to go under in this one, Tony. But if they want to get up and try to mix it up with Connecticut and take them out of the pace, well, I'm not going to win this total for sure. And Villanova's certainly not going to win the game. They better try to maximize each possession, especially if they're a crummy shooting team this season going up against a team that, hey, Villanova's specialty always kind of been the long ball, right? But again, Connecticut, one of the best defenses as far as 3-point shooting percentage. So some of the Connecticut wins of late, now granted, they rolled through some cupcakes in the early season, about five in a row that were, well into the top 150s in the country. Not very good teams, but against Butler, a total slowdown team, kind of a Villanova style, if you will, 68 to 46. They played Florida 75-54 against Iowa State 71 to 53. So that's the way I'm kind of going to look at this one. The Sharps have maybe moved it a little bit. The steam kind of came in on the Huskies, but they're still only a 12.5 point favorite here, and the total has dipped a point. It was about 137.5 or so, and it's gone down a point here. So I would think that with Villanova has Eric Dixon. He's a kind of a bigger guy inside, maybe not too much offensively, and he can play a little bit of defense. And some of the games that Villanova has had during this current winning streak, you look at some of these scores against Oklahoma, 70 to 66, against Penn, 70 to 59, against BC, 77-56, and against St. Joe's, 71 to 64. Those will all be close or under that number here. So, maybe Connecticut's got too much for them. I'll be out of this one and they'll blow them out, but that's if it's a high score. If Villanova can at least play it to their tempo offensively and defensively, I've got this one going under 136.5. A reasonable score here might be something in the 70 to 58 range, I would think, in this one. As you get into conference play, Connecticut's first two conference games, they played some of the, I said like Georgetown, they played a couple of weak teams, but right now to come in against Villanova, who I don't know where you want to classify them yet at this point. I mean, Whitmore is going to be a guy who's going to attract a lot more attention as the season goes along. I mean, missed those first games, so some people are only catching wind of him right now. But he's a pretty top-notch player. But Villanova still got to play that slow-down style with Coach Neptune. I don't know if it'll kind of resemble Coach Wright's style, but that's what they have to do here, I would think, to stay in this game right now with Connecticut. No fluke at this point. Maybe not number one or number two in the long term, but right now they are because of that winning streak of 13-0.
All right, Ramon here on Villanova, UConn under 136.5. Yeah, the total was hard for me to figure because, if you're Villanova, you're facing a team like UConn that's guarding the three 27%. The teams are only making 42% around the bucket. Do you really want to go slow? Because it's going to be hard. Their defense is so good. Once you want a little maybe faster pace, maybe get some of their defenders out of position, maybe get a cleaner look at the basket. How do you feel? What do you think about that?
They've got an Archidiakono, so I would think Villanova would stick to their guns a little bit. I think they will try to shoot from three still. I don't know if tempo is going to, you know, I think pass it around, take those 3-point shots, and hope. There's got to be some regression to the Connecticut numbers. 27% is almost unfathomable. It's really one of the top percentages defensively right now going, and maybe they'll continue it and be at least still one of the best teams defensively with those percentages. But it does seem like it would come back a little bit, especially when you get into conference play, the vigors of going on the road and whatnot against some good Big East teams. But right now, I would think that that's the option for Villanova. Pass it around the perimeter, try to get open shots, and like I said, I mean, Tony, it's tough to ignore. I mean,
Yeah,
can
I
Villanova?
think they can even do some fake threes and try to drive inside, draw fouls because they still make they make their free throws at
Oh,
83%.
they're excellent. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. So, can Villanova really ever change those styles offensively and defensively? Again, you're talking about a team in the you know 300s when it comes to possessions, not only offensively but defensively as well. They try to settle you in a little bit with their defense and make you work for your shots as well. So again, I think it's the only way for Villanova. They're underdogs here by a dozen points, so they better try to stay in it somehow. Again, I think if it does end up being a blowout, I mean. Maybe it seems obvious that it would go over the total, but I think it's Villanova's best chance. They rarely this program anyway, at least with Wright as well, and I would think the way the form shows with Neptune so far, they have the same philosophy: is to maximize the time and work the possessions. Again, they average 71 points per game, but again, that's not going up against a defense like they're going to see today against Connecticut. I think the numbers are pretty serious as far as the Huskies are concerned. Uh, like I said, there'll be some regression, but maybe that's where their strength lies at this point. And we'll see if they can be one of the top teams in the country when it's all said and done. Right now, there's been some teams that have taken some losses, so they've just kind of inched their way to the top. No one saw this coming, right? I mean, they were unranked when the season started. So right now, no ignoring the Connecticut Huskies.
No doubt. All right, we got Villanova, UConn under 136.5. This one will have a start time here of 6:30 Eastern Time, Fox 1. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's action. Of course, tonight over on the board, we have, to put the record of there, Ramon doing great work in NHL. 49 units of profit here in the NHL. Also having a great season here in college football with great results here for 2022. From Ramon Scott over at Tony'sPicks.com. Good past 7 days in college hoops. So we have a lot of everything here, right? NBA. We got some bowl games still up there on the board on this 4-game card. Still 3 games remaining to go, as well as NBA as well. What do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Well, I got a couple of 5 packs, Tony. I was kind of mixing them up a little bit. I only had 2 plays in the NHL, so if you want to buy them a la carte, that's fine too. But 2 plays is what I have in the NHL, so couldn't really. We only offer 3 packs and 5 packs, so and 7 pack. We offer odd numbers as part of our profit guarantee program. We want you to show a profit, so I've put those 2 hockey games in with 3 NBA games, kind of a pro game, or 2 NBA and a college and an early college game. So I've got a 5 pack multi-sport you see there for $30, and I also have a 5 pack of winners in college basketball where I came off a winning day yesterday, put together a winning day on the card yesterday. 9 and 6 on the day, pretty heavy volume. I'll be back with heavy volume here today, so I'm in action right now in the bowl games as well. And we're also involved, Mindy and I, over at Tony's Picks with our team Steam selections. We take our consensus picks from the show, package them up, and sell them over there. So if you missed that show, you can pick up our consensus picks. These are games where Mindy and I agree on the games. We discuss them, we hash them out with our chat room, and then we make a selection. And if Mindy and I ever agree on the game, which we do quite frequently, we package that up and resell it over there at Tony's Picks. You can go back and watch the show, get it for free, but if you're in a hurry or don't want to spend the time searching through the videos, you can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out the Morning Steam packages of games where Mindy and I have selections there as well. So, yeah, same thing. NBA, Tony just had 2 picks over there as well. So, had to find a way to bottle those up, and I put them in with a college play. So, 5 pack of mixed games there. 2 from the NBA, 2 from the NHL, 1 from the extra board in college basketball. In fact, that one goes off. It's part of the 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific game, so you want to get that package early. Maybe I'll repackage it later time with something else for everyone that kind of comes in. You got to figure 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific is kind of like the major start time. So maybe I'll package it up another way and let people get a package of other games of basketball, including maybe some college, but also 5 games on this nice college board. We're really getting into the gritty of the conference season. Mindy and I covered several games today in the SEC, and I've got other games riding here with that 5 pack for $30 over there. And if all that's too confusing for you, you can always grab my 3-day package. You see it right there. For $99, get 3 days of my picks. I'm high volume, so you will get plenty of selections for your $99. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. That'll get you down to $80 right there. And again, for 3 days, you're likely to get probably close to 35 or 40 plays from me, and you can really do some damage there. Well, just playing a consistent unit basis. Been a lot of talk on our show, Tony, about what our units stand for at Tony's Picks, and we base our plays really on to win 100, and it's really the easiest way for someone to measure the success of a handicapper. None of our handicappers can go 0-5 and then the next day load up with a 5 unit play and win and say, hey, I'm even for the last 2 days. In fact, the variance would say that you should never really vary them too much. If you're really strong about a play, sure, you could maybe double up on if you're going to 1 unit, whatever your unit size is, quote unquote, you can vary it and go 1.5%, 2%, even a little stronger if it's a special game or a featured game or a playoff, something like that. You want to have a little fun. But if you're really into the day in, day out grind, there's just too much variance in sports betting in general. In fact, unfortunately for all bettors, that luck is going to be a main determination in your success. So really what you have to do is do the work and be on the right side of that luck. And you do that through hard work, skill, and preparation, because you can't do anything about those final minutes. But if you're on the right side of the move or the line, that's where you're going to get those wins. And really it's just going to be those 1 or 2 wins that determine whether you have a winning day, a winning week, or a winning month, just getting ahead and being on the right side of those games. So that's what's important. That's why I deal in high volume. And if you get that 3-day pass or the even the weekly pass for 149, where you'll get probably close to 100 plays, just continue to play your basic unit size and let those units pile up. So that's the way I have it over there set up at Tony'sPicks.com. Just like Minnie, I'm a high volume player, and I think that's the way to go. Hey, if you want to come in and just play 2 or 3 bombs, that's up to you. But man, you got to play a lot of games, and you're really not going to see your true results until the season is almost over. So that's why I play the games the way I do, and get those packages right there. You'll have a good time and be on the right side of a lot of these plays. That's the way I play it over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right. Get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Great results in the NHL from Ramon. So get on board right now. Of course, on the board tonight, Ramon here, as he mentioned, with the college basketball Wednesday 5-pack premium plays, affordably priced at $30. Also, that multi-sport 5-pack is on the board here from Ramon. Of course, that will feature NBA and NHL as well. So get on board there. Or as Ramon mentioned here, why not get the longer-term passes? We have a 3-day pass, and that 7-day pass is perfect right now, especially in the middle of bowl season. Right, we're heading into some major bowls right now, as well as the playoff games. That's part of that 7-day all sports pass. All the bowls, all of Ramon's NHL, all of his NBA, college hoops, NFL, of course, NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. That's part of that 7-day all sports pass. All your bowl games, that's the way to roll here with the Ramon. Get that weekly all sports pass. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll be able to save 20% off. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and then you'll land right on Ramon's page, and you'll scroll through. Of course, you'll see the 1-day passes, which are profit guaranteed. Then you'll see the longer-term passes here. There are four in the group there. So go ahead and get signed up and find the weekly one right there. I think that's a really good value right now with all these bowl games coming on here and all the major teams starting to play right now. So that's a perfect time. All right, Ramon, we put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon. Of course, that morning steam, big show today with a lot of sports covered for today.
Yeah, I got a pick for you up right now at Tony's Picks Ramon. If you head on over there and pick up one of my free selections on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe to my Twitter feed at Tony's Picks Ramon. And the pick comes to you in the Liberty Bowl that's going to go off here in just a little bit between Kansas and Arkansas. Or should I make everybody mad and say Arkansas? That's Kansas and Arkansas going at it in the Liberty Bowl. And I got a free pick for you up at Tony's Picks Ramon. We'll be back with more morning steam tomorrow. We're going to cram so many games in there. My executive producer, she's got me working hard on these games. We're going to take New Year's Day off for the holiday, so we've got a lot of games to cram in. I think she told me we've got 40 games to preview tomorrow and 40 more on Saturday. So we're really going to be extending the show a little bit, probably over 2 hours. But she mentioned the volume that we get, the volume of numbers of viewers, and that doesn't seem to fluctuate even with a long show. A lot of times, I think, especially with handicapping shows, that was kind of my worry when we go long, that people would tune out. But again, we're bringing winners, we're bringing picks to you. So what I've noticed is sometimes it varies with the sport a little bit, but we have a consistent audience all the way through, and these shows are running 60 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes, and I would think with 40 plays, if they can get me to shut up, we still will probably be close to 2 hours of handicapping information. But again, that's pretty much all we do. I mean, if someone comes in like, oh, my aunt, she was talking today, giving me birthday salutations. She couldn't care less who was favored in a game, but the detailed information that we give to people who are interested in sports betting, I think captivates their attention. That's the information that they're looking for. Yeah, maybe sometimes they're just looking for the picks, but anybody can flip on their YouTube and be on a 36,000 subscriber YouTube channel, Tony, and just throw out a bunch of picks. We want to give you some information behind those picks. Mindy's great numbers, and I try to give you some steam moves, if you will. And today we were joking about it in one game. We both liked the under, and as soon as I said, Mindy, I'm going to agree with you. We're going to go, under in the SEC game today. You can go back and watch it, how it unfolded. It's kind of funny because all of a sudden, I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, oh yeah, I agree, Mindy. I like the under, and we're not changing the line, Tony. That's not the point I'm making here. But it was just scary and disappointing that all those numbers started to disappear that I wanted to go under, and all of a sudden that 141 that I flashed on screen was 139 and going lower. So I was like, let's get off the air and put our bet in so we can get the best price, because man, that thing was dropping. But that's one of the features that we have on the morning steam. The steam, right? I mean, it's not just some term that I made up with the name of the show. I'm trying to pass along actionable sports betting information to the viewers as it happens. And in that little window, that's why I wanted to bring on that show at the time slot that we do. It's tough for me to get up. I'm old, Tony, now, and but we want to get that information. Those are when the biggest line moves occur. That, and of course, there's going to be injury information, everything, but the books are opening the number, the line's getting bet into, and they're moving one way or the other. We want to get that information to you right away. So when you watch the morning steam, you're going to get it right away. I uh, got into a little habit of preempting our discussion on a particular game or sport to make sure I tell everyone, oh man, look at this game's moving. If you are interested in it, you might want to check it out right away so you can get that best number. That's what you always say here, Tony, on Tony's Picks. Make sure you get the best number. That's what we're trying to help you do.
Yeah, best number in real time as well. Watching these real time shows help you do that. Shop and get the best numbers, no doubt. Check out Tony's Picks Ramon for Ramon's replay there from the bowl game. And of course, the morning steam. If you missed any of the shows, especially those that are at work right now, you can listen to the show on the way home. A long show today with all the coverage today from today's card. Just search Tony's Picks in any of your favorite major platform, and you'll find our podcast. The full length morning steam is up there on podcast form, so check it out there. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Have a great birthday in Vegas, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to check out the lighted cacti. It's a big deal out here, I guess, and they're making me go out and check it out, so I'm gonna. Sounds very interesting. So I might miss a little action tonight. Uh, Give me a break here, Tony. I'm gonna celebrate a little bit and another trip around the sun, as I say. But go out and be a little bit social. Can't just sit around and watch games every day, and that's why give Mindy the night off on Monday on New Year's Day too, because she works hard and enjoy her family and the holiday and everything. But that's why we'll cram all these games in over the next couple of days. Make sure we have previews up for all the games from the morning steam team. So want all our chat members to be ready. Get ready for a couple of big shows coming up over the next few days.
Yeah, get ready for those Monday bowl games. Get ready for Saturday's coverage there. So you guys look ahead and get them prepped because they will chime in with those plays and you can check out and of course great chat community there over on the morning's team. All right, Ramon, have yourself a great birthday and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
See you later, bro. Thank you.